back, everyone. From the iconic Destiny's Child to 32-time Grammy award-winning artist Beyoncé, our next guest has shaped some of, if not the biggest names in music.
But 5 years ago, his life was altered after a shocking and rare breast cancer diagnosis. So here to share his story of perseverance and how he built his legacy from the ground up is motivational speaker and founder of World Music Entertainment, the one and only Mr. Mathew Knowles. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Hi, ladies.
Listen, that was a shocking discovery. Can we start there with your breast cancer diagnosis? Because it's only less than 1% of men that it is caught, and rarely caught early enough to be treated without chemotherapy. So can you go back to 2019 and how did you think maybe something is wrong leading up to this diagnosis?
Good question. It was a tough year, 2019. My wife, Gina's sister had just died literally 5 months before with breast cancer. So it was a tough year. And then I was diagnosed. Most people don't know that I did 20 years in corporate America selling diagnostic imaging. Zero radiography was the leading modality for breast cancer. And we were trained for male breast cancer. We're talking 1980.
Wow.
And then from there, I sold MRI and the neurosurgery. So I had a background. So I knew when I saw this discharge on my T-shirt, I knew exactly what that could be. Called my doctor. He was like, I've never referred a man to get a mammogram. And I got a mammogram, and here we are. But something else happened. Medicine is changing. It's always ever changing. I had a genetic test, and that's the important part, and that's what I want to tell the audience. Genetic testing is critical, and for a man, it's called BRCA1 and 2. It means that for a man, you have a greater risk of male breast cancer, melanoma, pancreatic cancer, and prostate cancer. So, you know, I found out that I had a variance for that as well. And so I did a lifestyle change, lost weight, exercise, had 2 knee replacements.
Wow.
2 knee replacements.
Well, I was just going to say, according to the American Cancer Society, breast cancer incidences are 52% higher in Black men than in white men.
And the same with Black women.
So talk a little bit about this and the importance for you to be speaking out on this. What are you hoping that people will learn from this?
Well, what I'm hoping is early detection, finding this early for men and women, because now we're in Breast Cancer Awareness Month for men and women. It's all about stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, finding at stage 1. And that's just required a saliva sample now for genetics or a mammogram. It's really critical that we do that.
Can I ask how your health is now?
Well, I did 2 miles 4 days ago walking. My health is really good, not just physically, because there's an emotional part that comes with any form of disease, cancer, or, that has to be dealt with. So the emotional part, my wife Gina is sitting right there.
That's great to hear.
That's great to hear. Can we pivot a little bit? You are responsible for creating the legendary girl group, Destiny's Child. And for a lot of Beehive members, their 2004 split is still a tough pill to swallow in 2024. But you say that we may have gotten their breakup, there may be a mistake about what we perceive happened to cause the breakup. What do you mean
There
by
was
that?
no breakup at all.
Oh!
There was never a breakup.
You mean Destiny's Child is still together?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying there was never a breakup. There was strategically one time in the period of their career that they will all go separate ways. It was a strategy that I had doing each Destiny's Child album. Each one of the ladies did solo albums. Michelle loved gospel music. She had a number of #1 gospel records. Kelly loved pop music internationally, Australia, the UK, #1. Beyonce, R&B. That was always the strategy, not to break up, but to retire. That's the difference. But you can come out of retirement.
That is. Now, you originally wanted Solange to be in Destiny's Child too, but she didn't want to.
Well, Solange, I certainly did. She was a dancer at 13.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the Survivor video, she's out front.
Wow.
Dancing at 13. Same age as Blue Ivy.
You must have had zero doubts, though, that she too would become a Grammy Award-winning artist of her caliber.
Well, you know, I knew she was passionate. I knew if she put in the work, she would have the opportunity. And she put in the work, and she won a Grammy. And her and her sister, only two sisters in the history of music to have a #1 album the same year.
Wow. That's a nice detail.
Wow, that's amazing.
Can we talk a little bit of controversy because Beyonce's latest album, Cowboy Carter, has been, wildly successful. Everyone's talking about it, and yet it was shut out of the CMAs. And a lot of people have been talking about that this is a prime example of the industry's continued erasure of Black artists' contribution to country music.
Right.
And so, what's your take on that?
So I'm a college professor for 23 years. So I actually teach a course called African American Aesthetic Culture from spirituals to hip hop. Country music, slaves brought over an instrument called a canting, which was a banjo. Black people have been playing country music since forever. The first 6 Grand Ole Opry performances was a black band. So this whole myth about country not being Black music, my dad loved country music. So it's a myth, and it's just about education. Knowledge is power, just like we talked about breast cancer. It's about getting the information and having the knowledge, and then make a decision.
Matthew, it's been such a pleasure having you join us here today. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I love your energy.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.